Everyone is competing with something, and that's okay. Competition is a good thing. Not the kind that makes us bitter, the kind that makes us better. So we're proud to support Connacht, Leinster, Munster and Ulster Rugby. While most folks share for one, we support all 4 provinces because we live and work in all 4. And round here, competition is a good friend. It fuels us, connects us, pushes us past whatever stands in our way. And when we fall on the pitch or off it, it picks us up and reminds us, once you begin, you must never stop competing.
I remember playing New Ross once. One that stands out, I remember playing New Ross, and I didn't know Tyke Furlong at the time, but it turned out it was him playing, because I just remember I remember talking to him about it. I was like, there was 2 really big guys on the team, and it was him and one of the other guys on the team, on his team. So it had to have been him. And I remember, gosh, it must have been 8 or 9 at the time. And I remember it was like open field, and the 2 big lads. You always, when you're that age, you always remember like the big guys, because the big guys on the team. The 2 of them were like, I don't know how it ended up happening, but obviously it's the nature of underage rugby. The 2 of them were kind of at fullback, so there was like a gap. The try line was in the middle, and the 2 of them were either side. And I tried to sprint straight for the middle. I thought I'd make it, and I got sandwiched between them, 2 of them.
The main thing is it's so important to have role models for these children to look up to, and I think that's something we've done really, really well here in Wicklow. I mean, we have I think over 200 girls playing now in the youth section, which is absolutely fantastic, and I think that's kind of how important the sustainability of it is. I mean, to have long-term success for our women's team, we have to have players feeding in. I mean, we're not a Dublin club. We don't kind of have the ability to almost rely on colleges kind of feeding us players, and I think that's something that's been realised here in Wicklow for a long, long time. I mean, Ronan Griffey, I think we actually had a players meeting at the start of the year just to share kind of why we play, and I think 80% of the women said that Ronan Griffey was the reason why they kind of started rugby. So I think it's people like him that have kind of invested so much of their time and realised that kind of long-term success of a team comes from grassroots.
That's an imprint that Wicklow has had on us and our family. It's even though the little ones, like when they came here, they were 1, but Wicklow is just, they love Wicklow. So it's just something, it's the people here, the support for everything is just incredible. And I knew that's rugby, but this is something else.
Oh, well done, well done. Okay, Julie, you come over here with me. Now, we're here in St. Joseph's Community Centre in Wexford Town for our 3rd week of our walk and rugby programme. A modified version of rugby that we can use for players of all abilities, ages. It's in partnership with Sports Active Wexford and Wexford County Council.
Sports Active Wexford, we support a number of groups and we work with loads of different national governing bodies. One of which today we're working with Leinster Rugby, and we're doing walk and rugby, and it's absolutely fantastic.
So they're for players and people of all abilities, so both all ages, mental and physical disabilities. We want to keep these players and people active as much as we possibly can, but more than anything today really it's about the social aspect and the fun aspect.
So it's great to have Leinster Rugby involved with the walk and rugby. They provide all the skills and the expertise to the guys, and as well with walk and rugby, it's just so inclusive. Everybody here is having so much fun today, and it's a great social aspect for them. All the groups get to mix in together, which they wouldn't usually do during their typical day.
The beauty of walk and rugby is we can change and modify the rules depending on the group we have. So you can see here today we're not really looking at forward passes too much, we just want them to play. So as long as they're moving into space and putting the ball into space, we're happy. And if you can score a try, happy days. If it just means crossing the line, it doesn't matter. So as long as everyone's having fun and scoring tries, it doesn't matter. Oh, well done. Well done, great try.
Everyone is competing with something, and that's okay. Competition is a good thing. Not the kind that makes us bitter, the kind that makes us better. So we're proud to support Connacht, Leinster, Munster and Ulster Rugby. While most folks share for one, we support all 4 provinces because we live and work in all 4. And round here, competition is a good friend. It fuels us, connects us, pushes us past whatever stands in our way. And when we fall on the pitch or off it, it picks us up and reminds us, once you begin, you must never stop competing.
Welcome here to Energia for this Bank of Ireland Leinster School Senior Cup between St Mary's College and Wesley College. We already know 4 of the 8 teams qualified into the quarterfinals in St Michael's, Blackrock, Newbridge College and Clongowes. My name is Kieran Noble and I'm delighted to say joining me in commentary today is Irish Times journalist John O'Sullivan. John, how are you?
I'm very good, Kieran. Nice and warm up here in the Eagles' Nest and looking forward to a match. It's been a while. Last year's Schools Cup final was the last Schools match I saw live. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. I'm beginning to feel my age because I'm thinking about watching Wesley College down through the years and can remember Eric Miller playing and more recently Josh van der Fleer, and also remember the Dennis, what I call the Dennis Hickey final 21 years ago. So watching him star and lead Marys to a cup success.
Now let's go through the teams. The big news is in the St Mary's selection, their captain and Irish schoolboy Andrew Sparrow isn't included because of injury. However, they've got plenty of quality all over the park. The second row is made up of 2 Leinster representatives in Luke Polisky and David Lee. Irish under-18s player Aaron O'Brien completes the forward pack at 8. The very talented Evan Moynihan is at 13 and he's a player to watch in their back line. Wesley come into the game very much as the underdogs. The team is captained by the impressive Oran Hanley, whose younger brother Rian starts at hooker. And we're about to get underway here, and it will be Charlie Hempenstall, the young transition year, to get us started, and the referee blows the whistle. Marys take it in, and they send it back straight away. They fail to find touch. Hempenstall has it. He, with a low kick, sends it back to Marys. A bit of kick tennis early on here. The Marys fullback puts it into touch. Early nerves.
Yeah, I think both teams are looking to settle down if you're not looking to do anything too clever in the early stages of the match, and also by the looks of it that Wesley might have a little bit of wind assistance there. Both kickers on both sides trying to keep the ball lowish.
Rian Hanley was involved in the Senior Cup team last season, the hooker for Wesley College. His older brother Oran was excellent for Wesley when they made it to the quarterfinals last time out, and he throws it to his brother Hempenstall. With a big hit defence from St Mary's, McGill, the scrum half, tries to rip it, but Wesley still have Hanley. Big carry there from St Mary's near the halfway point. Mary's making some early tackles. 12 next to go. Johnny Cazzini was a very influential player for Wesley in last year's campaign. Played a lot of that campaign at out half. The scrum half puts it up. An early tester for St Mary's and their fullback Foley. And he takes it well. Here comes the 12, Torres. He kicks it through. Chasing it well is the 13, Moynihan. But Mary's. It's been a long passage of play. Hempenstall puts it up. That was a long passage to play. Both teams really just feeling each other out in the early stages.
Yeah, I think that Wesley were a little bit one-dimensional in what they were trying to do. The ball carrier was easily identifiable, and Marys were able to shoot up and double team, or double tackle if you like, the ball carrier. They drove Wesley back. Nice counter attack, and now just a kicking error has given them field position in the 22. It's positive for Mary's.
Killian Jacobs to Luke Taliski, and they go to the ball. Wesley doing a good job to try and disrupt that. The hooker Jacobs gets it back. Mary's might opt to use some of their forwards here. Jacobs. The loose head. Next, take it. The Wesley defence doing everything they can to keep them out. Lean is next. A fourth error there basically from a good Wesley defensive set.
Yeah, very much so. I thought Wesley were very good, very strong in the tackle, patient. Again, Mary's ball carrier got isolated, and just an error, forward pass. Mary's were patient for a while, and they just lost a little bit of that connection with the final pass.
How important is it for Wesley, early on, not to let Mary's build up an early advantage?
I think for any underdog in any game, it's really, really important that you try and keep it at 0-0. You try and ask questions. You get the favourites to doubt themselves a little bit, and also going through a defensive set and being able to get away with it is very important.
McGill. Oh, good pass from McGill to his fullback Finn Nolan. He kicks it on. And a good kick, but you probably would have hoped that would stay in play.
Very much so, but great counter attack. Did very, very well in terms of finding that gap. And then, you would have hoped that the ball would have stayed in play and they could have chased it down. But as it is, very well executed play to get out of their 22.
Finn Nolan was another player that was involved with the Wesley squad last year when they made it to the quarter-final, eventually knocked out by Gonzaga. Mary's taken up to the big number 8, Aaron O'Brien, Leinster under-18s player, but Wesley get it back, and here they come, Heppenstall, the other half. The back rower is next. Bennett Murphy, Heppenstall. Wesley out half Charlie Heppenstall he's looking very alive and very active and trying to kind of get Wesley on that front foot early on.
Great turnover, well identified by Charlie Heppenstall where the gap was, where the space was, took it up and took it on, and he's given himself his team an opportunity. It doesn't look like he's going to the corner, I'd say, rather than taking a shot at the post, and that probably tells you a little bit about the wind.
I've heard that he's on the radar of the Leinster underage squads, and he's showing us why early on.
I was going to say you can see why if that's the basis of his performance and he's that good. Yeah, very much so.
Rian Hanley. Throw this line out in. But Mary's get in and disrupt that run. But Wesley still have Oran Hanley, the captain. Now Rian Hanley, his younger brother. Milo Campbell tries to tip it on, but that's a knock on. And the referee says we're going back. An earlier advantage, so Wesley will have to put in. Do you think they'll have a strike play off this, something that they've practiced in the training ground?
I hope they do, Kieran, is the answer to this, because they will have, this is this perfect field position for them to launch whatever they have in terms of a backline move. Mary's were probably slightly unlucky with the line-out not to reclaim the ball having got the first touch, and that's why Wesley have the scrum. But again, it's a very encouraging start for Wesley, having I suppose assimilated a little bit of pressure early on. They now find themselves less than 10 metres from the Mary's line and a perfect opportunity to strike.
Scrum half. Jack Frayne come in. Hanley takes it. What can Wesley do here? Mary's will do everything they can to keep them out. Wesley edging ever closer. Finn O'Neill gets hit hard in the tackle there. Pizzini tries with the little hard line. Mary's defence stands strong again. Wesley, a few metres out now. Can they get over? Big moments in the game. And they do get over. And it looks like they're putting a real hammer at the front.
Really, really, really good from Wesley there. Very patient, protected the ball well at each successive rush, and they would have looked to Johnny Pizzini did extremely well to ride that double tackle initially and just get a little bit of go forward ball, and from there very patient and well worked.
A dream start really for their head coach Patrick Collins would have been dreaming about last night.
Yeah, I think it's having survived that little bit of pressure early on. I think Wesley have come back extremely well into the match, and obviously the break by Charlie Hempenstall gave them purchase followed by a penalty which they kicked to touch, and they've managed to come away with points, which is a crucial thing for the underdogs, if you like, going into the match, is to get the first score and ask a few questions mentally as much as anything else.
And Hempenstall adds the extras, 7-0 to Wesley College.
Very good, yeah, absolutely. Now we'll see what Marys are made of.
Wesley had 2 wins in their league campaign. That secured them their senior cup status, which was very much a target for them at the start of the school year.
Yeah, they'll be delighted, absolutely delighted with the start they've made here.
But it was smart in the restart for St. Mary's, all of the referee, all the back.
Yeah, very, very close run thing. I would have thought it did actually travel over and came back, but we shall see. I think on the replay.
McNulty thought he was away there.
Ooh, very close, very close. You'd allow the referee that one. He's closer.
Interesting that Wesley have gone for 2 TUIs at 9 and 10.
Yeah, obviously have faith in 2 young men who have, and judging from what I've seen of Charlie Hempenstall so far, it's very justified.
Speaking of Hempenstall, he has the ball. He plays with those dancing feet of his. Milo Campbell takes it up. Pizzini. Mary's trying to get in over that ball. And it looks like they have to their number 10. Sam Ryan it was.
Yeah, very good from Sam Ryan. Wesley carrier got a bit isolated. They went wider. I think it was the up inside flanker, Aaron Bennett Murphy, who got isolated. And it was, or was it? No, sorry, I'm doing him a disservice. It was Shane Kendall. And just made it easier to get for Marys to get the turnover.
And a great touch finder as well.
Yeah, Marys will want a positive response to conceding the try, and this is an opportunity.
I had Moynihan down as my 13 on my team sheet, but I believe he's the 12. So. And Marys go to the line out. They go to the maul. What can they do here? Will they take it out? A really good defensive set there again from Wesley. Mary's options keep it in tight. That's a lovely run. And it's the inside centre. Moynihan, I think. And what is going to St. Mary's? Great response.
Yeah, absolutely. Thomas Tourish took a great line and came onto the ball late. Wesley didn't pick him up as they realigned defensively. And it was beautifully done. A nice feat to finish. Yeah, Marys will be very, very happy with that. And a good response, good strike play, and well finished, a well constructed try.
This is going to be. Looks like it's going to be the hooker.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, but Killian Jacobs.
Yeah, it's always nice to see a place kicking hooker. You don't see too many of them, and he struck the ball. Well, it was an easy conversion, but still has to be made.
Stop will get us restarted. 7-7 after 13 minutes of play. The big number 8, Aaron O'Brien, takes it straight into contact. The second row, Lean. They'll send it back. Nolan, the fullback. He responds with a kick of his own. And a brilliant kick at that.
Yeah, superb from Finn Nolan. Really, really, really good. And that's a huge plus and a huge lift for his team to watch your fullback do that and to find touch, and beautifully judged.
50-22 as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Brilliant kick response there from Nolan.
Yeah. I think everybody can draw a breath now. 14 minutes in, 1 try apiece. Pretty evenly contested game. You'd say that Wesley, in terms of territory and possession, are probably shading it, but Marys will be very relieved to have taken points from their second visit to the Wesley 22. Bit of running repairs.
That always happens. I'm a big believer in you have to make red zone territory count.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think Wesley might be the slightly happier team at the moment. They've probably shaded the exchanges. They will be disappointed that they didn't pick up Tourish's late run for the Marys try, and that they didn't get set defensively. But I think overall, given everything that they've produced so far, 14 minutes into the match, they must be reasonably happy.
Ian Hanley to throw this one in. He looks for his brother, but it just goes out. Wesley pointing up very well through number 5, Chris Collins. Bennett Murphy aims to edge them closer. Oren Hanley runs to carry the ball. His brother Rian is next. Wesley very close to the line now. A lovely pass by Heffenstein. And it gets out to the winger. Number 14, Evan Pearson. But the referee, however, might be going for a little chat.
Yeah, I think he's just seeing if the pass drifted forward or not.
What do you think?
No, I think that's a fair cut. Based on, we don't have a great angle here, but I do think it probably drifted forward, looking at, and his hands going forward as he released it. Yeah, I think it is probably the correct call.
I thought he was in there, and Wesley got another perfect response.
Yeah, they got a couple of bits of good fortune in terms of how they rescued the line out, and then another kind of ricochet. So maybe the luck evened out a little bit in terms of the referee adjudicating that, along with, after consulting his touch judge, that the ball adrift had gone forward out of Charlie Hempelstall's hands.
Aaron O'Brien, big number 8, taking the yards. Looking for the exit here. And he finds touch.
Very, very good touch. I think what Wesley will be very pleased about is that when they get into the Marys 22, they're winning. Their pack is winning the collisions. They're getting go forward ball all the time, and that's something that will give them heart if they can get back into the Marys 22. That they're making progress through the carrying of their pack.
Wesley's only senior cup success came way back in 1898, led by a man called George Hamlet, I believe.
I wasn't at the game, is all I can tell you. But yeah, it's a long time.
Wesley trying to get back. That one's gone too far.
Yeah. The capricious bounce of a rugby ball, unfortunately, that's what happens. It was a reasonably good kick, and just gathered speed off the surface, and as it happens here in Donnybrook, a loss of the time.
Mary's, of course, 5 times winners of the competition. 3 titles in the swinging 60s, and then one in 1994. Dennis Hickey was the captain that day, and one in 2002 where the great Johnny Sexton kicked the late conversion to win.
Yeah, I didn't see the ones in the 60s, but I did see the last 2.
Well, it was actually your report I was telling you earlier on that I was reading about Johnny Sexton.
I'm now very worried. Yeah, Johnny Sexton. I have vague memories. It was a very cold day, I think. That's the only thing I remember.
Wesley take it in through Finn Nolan. That one didn't turn out like his last kick anyway.
No, that came off the side of the boot. So Mary's half-field position now, about 30 metres from the Wesley line, and they're looking to capitalise on this, again, platform that they have.
As I mentioned at the start, St Mary's are without their captain Andrew Sparrow today. But I've heard that Ruan Smith is a very good replacement and has been very good for them this season.
Yeah, I believe he's played regularly. That Sparrow hasn't played an awful, hasn't played very many games, so he would be. It's a pity. You'd never like to see anybody not get an opportunity to play in a school scrum match. Yeah, Mary's will be disappointed again there. It's another kind of line-out that's gone astray.
What do you put that down to, though, these like simple mistakes? Is it nerves? Is it something else? Is it the pressure that Wesley are putting on them?
I think there's a little bit of everything, but I also think the wind is a factor. It's very, very difficult for hookers here. There's a strong breeze, and any kind of miscalculation is magnified by the strength of the wind here, the breeze, if you like. So sometimes you have to simplify it as a team. You've got to go, and they did try and throw to the front, but you just try and have to simplify it, win possession, and then kind of work on what you're going to do with it afterwards.
Frayne. Cazzini. Nice offload to Paddy Collins. Hanley. He's been very active so far.
He's been great. He's been really, really good, and he has been a primary carrier for them, and he's the person that's got them over the gain line more often than not. Yeah, that'll show you the strength of the wind. That last kick.
It's kind of bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
Nolan. He goes to the boot again. But again,
Yeah.
it just doesn't go to plan for him, and I think ever since that 50-22 he fancies that boot, but the last 2 just, they've kind of went off the side of the boot, as you said. And
Yeah, I think Finn has to give himself a greater margin of error on his kicking. You've got to bring it in a little bit on the pitch and just allow yourself not to be looking, playing on the margins all the time. Just give himself a little bit more leeway. And the wind is definitely strengthening.
it's the captain, Luca Jennings, who takes it. The son of Carl Jennings, who was part of that 94 squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very good number 8, I think it was number 8 from memory, but he certainly played in the back row.
That centre partnership of Mary's looking very dangerous early on.
Yeah, Tourish has done very well there again. Very good footwork.
Ryan. Mary's just need to get some go forward ball, and they do to Police, another Leinster representative. Wesley send it back on again. Foley. What a great hit by Finn Nolan.
Yeah, great chase by Paddy Collins there and Finn Nolan, and they put Mary's down. I'd say that Gavin Foley, given his time again, might have elected to kick or to pass.
Wesley have in a great attacking.
Yeah. And again, great work. There's a little bit on both sides. They're a little bit loose in terms of protecting their ball, and it'll be something that both coaches, I'd say, will say to the teams at half-time to try and kind of be a little more clinical and accurate in their breakdown work and allow them to retain possession.
I think my team sheet says Torres shot 12, but I actually think it's Evan Moynihan from my pre-match study, and also I heard one of the crowd say Evan, so
okay, we'll take all we said back about young Torres and give all the praise to Evan Moynihan. Yeah, absolutely. I was just looking at the numbers there, and if they're the other way around, we'll happy to clarify that we're talking about the wrong person.
And Mary's going to that ball. It's motoring. Making plenty of yards. Wesley really struggling to contain it here. They're into the 22 already. Or nearly into the 22, I should say. And it's O'Brien. Always hungry for a bit of work. And Wesley give away the penalty. Is that a smart penalty to give away, do you think?
No, but under pressure, thought he could have a dip. I think that was Oran Hanley. Thought he could have a dip at the ball at the ruck, and Mary's drew the attention of the referee to it. I think in our defence that I would say that the Leinster branch don't provide any team sheets here, and we rely on what we're given. So that's a kind of a mini defence of the team sheets that we have. Sorry, the teams that we have here at our disposal. So with apologies to Evan Moynihan, not giving him the credit when he so deserved it for the first try, for Mary's try.
This is a great attacking line-out opportunity for St Mary's, and based on how that ball went a couple of minutes ago, you'd think they'd go to it again.
Yeah, I think I'm looking to see if they're going at the front, which would make sense in the conditions. No, 4 ball, good throw, good catch, and a well-set drive.
And here they come. Wesley dealing with a little bit better, but Mary's are going. Jacobs has it at the back. It looks like they're putting out Ryan, the out half, thinking and diving. 12, Moynihan. Very close to the line here. Keeping it in nice and tight, and they get over. I'm just double checking and seeing who that was.
Yeah, very good patience from Mary's that time. Again, Moynihan with a key play. And also, out half, credit to Sam Ryan. Sam Ryan with a half break. Moynihan again with a kind of gets past the first tackler, and then Mary's are nice and patient.
I think it might have been the 7, Luca Jennings.
Yeah, I must say that they were patient there. They worked the opportunity, went round the fringes a couple of times, and got the reward.
I don't think I've ever seen this before.
I'm trying to rack my brains to think of a place-kicking hooker. I know Keith Wood fancied a few alright. He fancied himself. He kicked a fair bit out of hand, memorably for the Lions and for Ireland at times. But yeah, I'll have to think about that to think if I can think back to a hooker that place-kicked.
Well, I believe one of Keith Wood's sons is actually a backline player from Munchins, so if he couldn't live it, the sons did anyway. What's the game plan here for Wesley?
Oh, I think just next score if they can, any score. I think that's important. They just need to tidy up. A few mistakes have cost them field position and territory. Sorry, field position and possession, I should say. And they just need to try and clean up a couple of errors that have invited Marys into the game. A few penalties conceded. We have a little bit of a warning here for a high tackle around the neck. Accidental, it wasn't. Well, sorry, accidental, it wasn't deliberate.
Finn Nolan has plenty of enthusiasm.
Yeah, one of those things you say it's kind of symptomatic of where Wesley have been for maybe the last 7 or 8 minutes in the match, conceding a few penalties, turning over possession, a few kicks that go into touch directly. They just need to try and cut down on the mistakes and get back to what they were doing in the first 10 minutes of the match, which was not to make mistakes and get some field position.
A very good touch finder there again by Moynihan.
Yeah. I don't think Wesley should panic either. They'll have the benefit of a strong wind in the second half, so if they bring a kind of shrewd kicking game, they can get easy field position in the second half by using the wind.
Yeah, it was number 7, Luca Jennings, I'm sure now.
Yeah, captain's role.
Second row takes it in. And again, the maul gets going.
Penalty coming.
Wesley really struggling with that maul now.
Yeah, it's funny.
Go to the corner again.
I think so.
Same way.
I think he's getting instructions. So when your captain's a forward and there's an option to go to the corner, most of the time they'll take it.
They're greedy, those forwards.
Huge kind of. You feel it's a pivotal moment in the half, certainly, and in the match as well, for Wesley to try and keep Marys at bay here. They don't want to concede a third try, and it's very important that they kind of stand up and hold them out here defensively.
Lean and Poliski are both great line-out takers. Great options to have, but it's actually Jennings who takes it.
Yeah.
And they
Set
play
move
it
to
on.
O'Brien.
The loose head. Poliski. Difficult to see where that ball is, but it looks like Mary still have it.
Yeah,
they do. And they go again from close range and they get over again.
Yeah, cleverly worked line-out move with number 8, Aaron O'Brien peeling around the front. Again, good patience. Worked the fringes until Wesley ran out of defenders. It's very, very difficult to defend from there. It looks like, is it Luca Jennings again?
I don't think it was Luca Jennings. Maybe Joseph Durkin, the number 6, possibly.
When you're a metre out from the line, in fairness to Wesley, it is very, very difficult. If you're going to defend it, try and defend it legally. It's very difficult to defend in those circumstances.
And they're very hard to see as well, those close range tries. Who actually puts down?
Superb place kicking, I must say. From Killian Jacobs, really, really good in those conditions. He strikes the ball beautifully.
Who said hookers can't have a bit of skill?
Certainly not me if I have to run into any of them.
You mentioned Wesley will have that wind to their advantage in the second half, but how much is the wind? Points-wise?
That's a good question. It's like, how long is a piece of string? If you use it intelligently and you use it well, it can be an advantage. It's very difficult for the team that's playing into the wind, that they have to run a lot of ball, expend a lot of energy to try and get up the pitch. If you kick poorly, it's not a guarantee that you get down the far end unless you use it shrewdly. And you've got to be very careful of your angles.
The little kick.
Yeah.
Basketball style, he tips it on. Wesley in the St. Mary's half now. Pizzini Sends a long pass out wide. His left winger. He's dealt with well in the tackle. Wesley
Great clear out.
They're on the front foot here. McNeil. Lovely switch inside. Campbell has it, but he just knocks it on.
Very, very good from Wesley again. Charlie Hempel-Stoll there, kind of a catalyst for some of their better moments. And also with Rian Handley working and very unlucky, a nice inside ball and just unfortunate. A knock on there brings it to an end on the threshold of the Mary's 22.
But that's what they need to do. They need to play. They're very dangerous with ball in hand. Hempel-Stoll looks like a real general. He's bossing that attack around. He's linking up well with the likes of Cazzini, Paddy Collins.
Any space that Charlie Hempel-Stoll has got, he's done extremely well. His footwork is very good. His appreciation of where the space is. He's got through a couple of gaps, and he's definitely causing. He will cause Mary's problems if he's given any space.
Yeah.
I should say, continue to cause them problems. Pass back in, so we're going back.
And exactly what Wesley would have wanted.
Yeah, again, it's you just feel if they can get something from this, it'd be a huge boost going into half-time.
Of course, St. Mary's are considered to be one of the big six, so they would have been favourites coming into this game. But anything can happen in schools rugby, as we were saying before.
Yeah, it's the beauty of it, I suppose, in some respects. They have, after a slow-ish start, in where Wesley, and you give credit to Wesley for what they did at the start of the match.
And it's Cazzini, and a lovely hard line after a good variation in the long out. Hanley, I've been really impressed by the fifth year so far today. Oren Hanley's next. Wesley looking for the cracks. Frayne to Hempel-Stoll to Nolan, and he's held well by Moynihan. Campbell. Patience is the key here for Wesley.
Yeah, again, they're winning the collisions on the gain line for the most part, and that's got them to where they are now.
Hanley, the big number 8.
Yes, Trout.
And they're over again. And it's Rian Hanley again for his second of the game.
Very, very, very good. Very patient. They worked the fringes very well. They won the collisions on the gain line, and super.
He'll be thanking his older brother Oren at the dinner table tonight for that setup.
I'm sure he will. I suppose how much they enjoy their dinner will be governed by the results of the match. But yeah, very good. Very, very good. And Wesley Show again demonstrated that if they can get into the Mary's 22 with the carrying of their pack, and also should mention Finn Nolan's role in that as well. He broke the gain line and gave them a little bit of quick ruck ball, guaranteed that he got over the gain line, and from that ruck they just worked their way back towards the posts and over.
Johnny Cazzini's influence as well. Anytime it goes out wide, he makes the yard, he hits the hard lines.
I've been very impressed with Johnny Cazzini and Charlie Hempel-Stoll as a 10-12. I think they've been very, very good, both individually in terms of making breaks and in working together.
So we'll take a break for half time and we'll be back with you shortly. we're back for the second half.
Yeah, it's been a hugely entertaining game. Credit to both sides. Really, really enjoyable. Both sides trying to play rugby and for the most part succeeding. And some cracking individual performances. You'd look at Aaron O'Brien and for St Mary's, and obviously Evan Moynihan in the centre, and for Wesley College, Charlie Hempenstall, Rian Handley, 2-try Rian Handley, and Johnny Cazzini in the centre have all been excellent.
And we can confirm that number 12 is in fact Right, might go to the boot here. Oh, gives it to us out halfway, goes to the boot.
Yeah, superb kick from Charlie Hempenstall, and he managed to brush off. I think Aaron O'Brien said hello to him there just after the ball left.
Two players that I've been told are being watched by Leinster are Rian Hanley and Hempenstall. And we're not surprised.
No, very much so. The two of them have been standout players in the game, but you've got to admire the collective on both sides. There's been some good rugby played in difficult conditions here. It's a very strong wind.
Jennings, the captain, takes it down, and the maul looked like it was away, but the referee says illegally so.
So blocking, I think, is what he's calling in front of the jumper.
Of course, Wesley pulled off the shock of the round last year. 30-10, they beat Ross Gray in the first round. Many were surprised that day.
I'm not sure if they'll draw down on that, how many are back from last year, but certainly if there are players back from last year.
Oren Hanley, Johnny Cazzini. Rian Hanley was on the bench that day as well. And he's only in 5th year, so he'll get another go at it next season maybe.
Been hugely impressed with him, I must say.
And it's Hanley, the older Hanley, takes it down and gives it to his brother Rian. Here comes the ball. Rian Hanley's lurking to see where the opportunity might arise. He takes it, he goes! The hat-trick hero, Rian Hanley, and it's 28-19, and the Wesley crowd are warm.
Well, you'd have to say it was Hanley to Hanley to Hanley, and a try. So, Seb's going to say Rian to his brother Oren, back to Rian. It wasn't held in the tackle, got up and plants the ball down, and as that says, hat-trick of tries.
He was on the Leinster radar before this game, but I think he'll be on more than the radar after this.
Very, very. His carrying has been first class, very impressive, very strong, very powerful, and a good appreciation. And footwork too, it should be said, footwork too. It's not just all about his strength.
6 tries so far. Hempenstall lines this one up. Been very good from the tee all day. Goes 21-21.
Yeah, well, we spoke about it at the end of the first half that Wesley needed to use the wind. They got a great relieving kick from Charlie Hempenstall out of their 22. They won a penalty at a line out. That gave them access to the Mary's 22, and they capitalised by scoring a try. So very, very efficient. Mary's will probably look at how they gave Wesley the opportunity to build that platform in their 22.
Wesley taken down through Johnny Cazzini. The boot will be used again, I think. And it's Hempenstall. Ready and waiting. And it's bouncing all over the place for the fullback Foley to tidy up. He has a look. Decides to run it, but he's met with a strong Wesley defence. Speed of Wesley is really impressive at the start of this second half.
Yeah, they know that Marys are going to try and run the ball. They're going to change this now with a box kick. No, kick long. From scrum half, Luke McGill.
Wesley happy to send it back. Mary's get a relieving penalty.
Yeah, they'll be grateful for that one. You can see that Wesley are content to kick the ball long, come down with a good chase and try and put pressure on. So they're playing the territory game, which is very sensible in the conditions. They're saying to Marys, yeah, you can run it back from here if you want. And that's what Marys have tried to do on a couple of occasions. They get a relieving penalty, which is very important.
And it looks like Gavin Mulvihill has also came onto the park for St Mary's.
Yeah, they've Oren Reid. They've two. Gavin Mulvihill and now Liam Flaherty, I think, is on number 20.
We'll try and find out who that is for you. Number 20 is on. Liam Flaherty. So Gavin Mulvihill and Liam Flaherty both in for St Mary's. St Mary's have an impressive coaching setup that includes Sean Cronin. He's one of the coaches there.
Yeah, I think he might be a little bit worried at this stage. I mean, it's a very strong wind, as you saw in terms of the penalty kick to touch. So Mary's are going to have to play a lot of rugby to get up into the Wesley half, and they're starting now with a driving line-out ball.
Kieran Maloney, their head coach. Looks like Mulville's gone in from half. Moynihan, if there's a player who can make something happen, he's the one for St Mary's.
Yeah, I would imagine that Wesley will watch him very closely in the second half because he's been that has to be a penalty and a warning, I would suggest.
A little over-eager there maybe.
Yeah.
And a silly one to give away.
Well, I've never met a forward who didn't claim that the scrum half had hands on the ball when he came around the side of the ruck, so I'm assuming that will be the what Shane Pedlow thought. We might get to see that again to see if he has a legitimate claim. It did look as if the ball was still in the ruck, I have to say, in fairness to referee Colin Roach.
Making touch was the main thing for Moynihan there. Very hard when you're playing against the wind.
Yeah, it's kind of, you want to guarantee that you get your line out, you get a little bit of reward. You're trying to, he got 20 metres there with the kick, and that's fine, you start again.
Here's Rian Hanley, a hat-trick here. Look at him, he took those meters. Kazini's kick is blocked down. Foley tries to get on it, but he knocks it on in the process.
Yeah, very unlucky there for Gavin Foley again. Mary's losing a set piece, a line out this time. Superb carrying again from Rian Handley. The block down. Yeah. Just
a one-man wrecking machine.
He's been the two, in fairness, himself and his brother have been very, very good. But yeah, Mary's will be disappointed. They had a platform. They just need to hang on to the ball a little bit, and to do that, you need to win your set piece. Expect Wesley probably here to kick again. I think they'll look for territory.
Cazzini, Robbie Henshaw like with that one.
Yeah.
And they're gonna love getting
offside.
that penalty. Hempestall was thinking about going quickly.
I don't think Charlie Hempestall was going quickly there. I think he was just winding up Mary's a little bit.
Keeping them on their toes.
Yeah.
I've been very impressed by Wesley today though, in fairness. 21-21, 43 minutes gone. I don't think many would have predicted that coming into the game.
Well, I think that the Marys find themselves in a precarious position again. They're just outside their 22, and most of the time that Wesley have got this platform in the match, they've managed to get some points out of it, and they'll be pretty confident that they can do it again.
Will it be Hanley again?
Well, I don't want to put the commentator's curse on it. I think I have, so we'll see how this line-out goes.
Great atmosphere as always at these school cup games. And indeed it is. Campbell to Cazzini with a little sidestep. What can Wesley do here? Bennett Murphy. Mary's trying to get in over it. But they still have McNeil. Hempelstall just organising things. Directing his forwards where to go. Hanley. And it looks like Hempelstall wants it.
Yeah.
Nolan, the fullback. McNeil again. Wesley looking very dangerous. Hanley, the lovely tip-on pass.
To his brother.
Who would have guessed it? Frayne has a little dart. Campbell. He stretches and he's over for Wesley's fourth try again. Milo Campbell.
Really good from Wesley again. Great patience, great application, good accuracy, good set. Securing the breakdown ball very well, making sure they retain it. And excellent from the hard-working Milo Campbell. He's been very good for Wesley too.
Great ball.
Really good. And I like the fact that Rian Handley used himself as a decoy, passing it to his brother. So it's not what there's a cleverness in what Wesley are doing as well. Marys might have expected Rian Handley to carry that time, and instead he tipped on the pass. So it is good. It's intelligent rugby. It's well executed.
A great variation between forwards and backs there too.
Yeah, and also a mention for Johnny Cassini. Again, very good footwork. Identified the inside shoulder, made a half break, and gave his forwards a platform going forward.
Picks it. The light ball there, it goes over the bar. 28-21 to Wesley College.
Yeah, amazing. Wesley's ability to get points from their visits to the Mary's 22 first class.
Their tails are up, their fans are alive. Could this be another big upset?
Well, they've got the wind. They've got a 7-point advantage. So if you'd asked them before the match on going into the 49th minute, whether they would have taken a 28-21 lead with the wind, I'm sure they would have bitten your hand off.
Just brought down, just short of the 22. Lean, the second row. A little bit of urgency being shown from Mary's here.
Yeah, again, Moynihan superb. Lovely footwork. Nice offload as well to Gavin Foley. Now, turnover? No, penalty. Yeah, penalty. No.
Look at the passion from McNeil there, just showing how much it means for Wesley to get a penalty like that.
Yeah, the issue here for Mary's, again, having got to the threshold of the Wesley 22, is the fact that they've given away another penalty, which is likely to cost them 35 or 40 metres, given that Wesley have the assistance of a strong wind.
Are they panicking a little bit, do you think? A little bit of over-exuberance?
I think they just have to, I think they just need a little bit more composure, and they need to kind of say to themselves, that's more, it's a fantastic kick. So that penalty has cost Mary's close to 40 metres.
And of course, as we said earlier, Hempelstall is only in TY, so he'll get another 2 Senior Cup campaigns maybe if Wesley qualify, which is really good for them.
He's remarkably assured, very good footballer, very impressed with his composure and his general game management and his individual skills as well.
And it's the Hanley-Tanley combination doesn't exactly go to plan, but Wesley still have. Bennett Murphy makes the carry. Oren Hanley. Hempelstall puts it up in the air. Where's it going to land?
Yes, that is definitely the commentator's curse when you big up Charlie Hempelstall and then he makes probably his first mistake of the match.
We'll allow him.
Yes, absolutely will. Yeah, I thought Marys were very unlucky in the previous ruck. I thought they had hands on the ball, and I thought it could have been a penalty turnover.
What are some of the messages that will be going onto the pitch from the Mary's coaching setup?
I think it's just to be patient, to keep possession of the ball, try and work some space on the pitch. So whether it's through Evan Moynihan or further out, they're going to have to play some rugby. They're not going to be able to march up the pitch by just using the fringes. You've got to see where the space is, and they're going to have the courage to play a little bit wider, I think. But most importantly, no penalties, because that will cost you 40-50 metres.
What's Patrick Collins going to be saying to his Wesley?
He will say to Wesley, keep playing territory, keep them under pressure, make sure that if they can kick as well as they have, with the exception of the last one, then they can put Marys back inside their 22, and then you're asking Marys a different set of questions. You now say to Marys, you've got to get from here 70-80 metres up the pitch, and how are you going to do it? So for Wesley, it's all about pushing Marys back into their 22 with a good kicking game.
Craig Ronaldson, former Connacht player, also involved in the Wesley coaching setup. A great player to have, or a great coach to have, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely, a very fine player, very fine player, and I'm sure he has done a little bit of work with Charlie, I would say.
Brilliant work, if I do say so myself, from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, very much so. Again, this is another platform. Mary's picked up a penalty, have a line out now, and they just have to secure possession. It's first things first. It's not trying to do the third thing you need to do. It's trying to do the first thing you need to do and work from there.
One job at a time, as they say.
Yep, win the ball, then worry about what you're going to do with it.
And it's the captain, Luca Jennings, who takes it. To Ryan, looking for a little gap. Wesley close it quickly. A little kick over the top, is dealt with well by Nolan. Mary's fighting hard, they want the breakdown, and they get a big penalty.
Yeah, very good from Gavin Mulvale. I thought the chip kick went a little bit too far. It was well collected, but the chase was good, and the work that the boys did at the breakdown, the Mary's boys in particular, Gavin Mulvale was first class and earned that penalty. Big chance here. Mary's will go to the corner and another platform.
I think they spotted that Wesley Leinster was coming up very fast and there was space in behind.
Yeah, I think that Evan Moynihan made a decision that there was a little bit of space in behind, but what worked there was the quality of the chase and the work that they did at the breakdown.
Shots first, making sure you win the line-up ball. All the way back to the hooker, Jacobs. Licking his lips at this opportunity, he will be. Edging ever closer.
Oh, that's
penalty, yeah. Get in and spoil it. Ryan.
This is a free shot for Mary's.
He stretches, and he's over for his second try again.
Brilliant finish from Moynihan. Lovely footwork again. Great angle. Great identification of the fan assault for inside shoulder, and the perfect way to play on penalty advantage. Mary's took a shot, and Evan Moynihan made sure that they maximised the return. Super work from the centre.
Reminds me a little bit of Gary Ringrose with that throw.
Yeah, I mean, I must say I've been a fan of his footwork for the whole match. I think he's very good. His appreciation of where to find space.
The body positioning is very good as well.
Yeah, inside shoulders he's done extremely well. Wesley will be a little bit disappointed that they conceded that quickly, but having said that, Marys were well set with the maul going forward, were on penalty advantage, and they gambled and it worked out. Evan Moynihan with a superb finish.
Seat stuff here.
Yeah, it's a wonderful game and a credit to both schools and both teams. Well, yeah, very unfortunate for Killian Jacobs there. I thought it was over, and it was like a gust of wind took it from a metre inside the posts onto the posts, in the last 2 metres of its journey.
A bit of luck for Wesley there.
Yeah, very much. I was pretty sure that was going over until the last 2 metres where it was taken onto an upright. But yeah, Mary's back again is what they need to do.
We're into the last 16 minutes or so here. Hemdenstall with a lovely smart kick. A very smart kick.
Again,
sometimes you need the big players to step up, and again Hemdenstall does it.
Superb game management, a really intelligent decision, and a beautifully executed kick.
They'll be looking to keep them in here now.
Yeah, it's like Marys are starting from ground zero nearly here. They're 10 metres from their own line, and they post up the far end, seem a long way away. But they have to start again, first thing, win the line out.
Wesley might try and force the exit.
Yeah, I think what Marys would like to do is 2 or 3 carries and give themselves a little bit of space here to be able to find a way out of their 22. They just can't hand back possession, that's really important. But they don't want to get into an arm wrestle inside their 22 and risk conceding a penalty. Yeah, Wesley are...
Confusion at that line out.
No, Wesley let them have the ball and didn't contest. It should be a penalty to Marys.
You're not happy with that one?
No, I'm not. I think that's I think it's the open side. You'll see here on a replay, he just lies on top of the Marys player. You can see full coming up here. So down he goes onto the ground, and he's in front like the Marys player is trying to put the ball back. It's absolutely a penalty to Marys.
Real decision there.
We shall see if it's a pivotal moment in the game. Hopefully not. You wouldn't like the game to turn on something like that, but in my opinion, that was a penalty for Marys.
One thing these two schools have in common, they've both produced a World Rugby Player of the Year. Johnny Sexton, of course, went to St Mary's, the 2018 World Rugby Player of the Year, and most recently Josh van der Fleer, the 22 Rugby Player of the Year, went to Wesley College also.
Kieran, I'll defer to you and see if they are if that's something that I don't know how many schools around the world. You'd have to go back and look at World Player of the Years, but yeah, fantastic for both schools. Both hugely proud of the two people in question, who will hopefully go well in Cardiff on Saturday.
Josh, of course, nominated on the shortlist for the European Player of the Year also again.
Yeah, I think Josh's mantelpiece, he's had to reinforce it.
Crossfield kick. It gets to the winger. Great tackle. Nolan throws it back inside. And here comes Marys. Wolf Hill with a little kick forward. Hemdenstall can't read that one. Marys. What can they do here? Moynihan. Wolf Hill, the second row lead. Wesley managed to lift that. O'Brien put them the legs. Moynihan, Marys in the ascendancy here.
Yeah, superb footwork. I'm very impressed with the footwork of Tiernan O'Shea there, the loose head prop for Marys.
Big moments in the game. Marys only a few meters out now. And it's a Wesley penalty. What was that for, John?
Hands on the ground is what I can see. The referee is indicating. I'm not, and we'll get a chance to see it here again. Great work by Gavin Foley for the second time in the passage of play. Somebody playing, knees on the ground, somebody using their hand to push the ball back. Not so sure about rolling away in the tackle there for, yeah, that looks like a dislocation or a, yeah.
You don't like to see that one.
No.
I remember hearing some old stories of players that used to go to the post and try and fix their shoulder that way back in the day.
Don't think it's rather them than me is all I'd say. And I'm looking at Gavin Foley is still working that shoulder. Hopefully it's a stinger rather than anything else.
How important is fitness in these last 10 minutes?
Well, I think both teams are very, very fit, so I would be surprised. I mean, the wear and tear, it's been a brilliant match. There's been a lot of attrition up front, some heavy carrying from both sides. So, it'll certainly test the lungs and possibly the benches from both sides. Again, the referee was closer, but I must say I would have suspected that there mightn't have been rolling away in the tackle if you were asking me for the first offence.
Make sure it touch.
Yep.
Doing his job.
Now
Like he
again,
has all
Wesley.
day.
I was going to say here, manage again for Wesley. Win the line out. Use the wind if you can. Push Mary's back and continue to get them to have to play from 70, 80 metres out.
The leaders have to stand up now and make sure game management.
Yeah, I think it's like I say, first things first, win the line out, then push Mary's back, and then say to Mary's right, 80 metres, off you go.
Mary's going to disrupt that line out too lean. O'Brien, look at his legs. Steaming away the big number 8.
Wonderful from O'Brien. Wonderful. Very, very unlucky. Very unlucky. Yeah, we spoke about doing first things first, but brilliant work from David Lean there for Mary's in the line out. A great run from Aaron O'Brien. And just that collision with the AstroTurf just squeezed the ball a little bit forward.
O'Brien was part of the Ireland under-18 squad.
Looks like Fionn Devereaux is on the pitch, number 16 with the blue headgear.
Big moments from some of these subs as well to make an impact.
Yep. This is where the coaches earn the huge money that they're paid. I'm obviously joking, but you're just hoping that the players that you bring on add a little bit of energy and dynamism to the team, and that they can make a contribution in a very tight game that we have. But while we have this break in play, it must be said, it's been a brilliant game of rugby to watch, hugely entertaining, in terms of an individual contributions and the collective, both teams as well.
Ed Collins looks to have come on the park. Wesley. Is Finn O'Neill who's gone off?
Yeah, tough. Yeah.
Mary's trying to get in on that ball.
Very unlucky again. Evan Moynihan hands on the ball. I would have thought that was a penalty.
Stall. Here come Mary's from broken play. Lean. Nice hands to the fullback Foley. Almost up at halfway. O'Brien. Very good today, the number 8.
Yeah, they were queuing up from there, and they still managed to make it over the goal line.
Here comes the winger. Halpin. Durkin. Jennings, the captain. The big captain's carry in the middle of the park. Foley. Dancing away. 14 Halpin gets it again. Mary's getting ever closer to the 22. Where's that ball? And it's a Mary's penalty.
Again, yeah, big call. Very good footwork, a nice spin from Gavin Foley, the Mary's full back. Yeah, I think that's Paddy Collins will feel a little hard done by there. Looked like he got a lift on the ball for Wesley, the Wesley centre, but penalised for using hands in the ruck, and Mary's will. Well, an interesting decision here, Kieran. Do you take a rest? Do you go to the corner? Do you take your points?
I suppose missing the earlier conversion, maybe they feel more confident. As coaches always say, always take your points in these situations.
Well, I think it's a 2-point game, so do you want to go in front?
Or do you want to just get on?
Yeah. I suppose there are more component parts to getting the line out right. They've done it before, but I think it's also a vindication for your place kicker. In this case, Killian Jacobs. Yeah, I'm very unlucky with one. I think you're right. I think they will go to the corner.
Oran Hanley's down for Wesley, a player they really wouldn't want to lose.
Yes. Very much so, yeah.
And he won't want to go off the pitch.
Looks like they're communicating back to the sideline, which is never good news in terms of the players staying on the pitch, I mean. Or rarely.
It's great that these games are being streamed as well, I suppose. That people are able to watch from home, a granny or a granddad or an auntie or an uncle.
Yeah, hopefully they're enjoying it. We'd like to think they're enjoying it.
Of course, it's streamed brought to you by Videos on the Net on Irish Rugby Live.
Yeah, it looks like Oran Handley was certainly...
Doesn't look good anyway.
Well, I think he might. If they spend this long trying to fix them up,
bandage him up.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of liquids on board, and he's getting a fair rest.
The Hanley
as
brothers
much as
been
you
immense
can
today.
Yeah, two of them, brilliant.
Without a doubt, probably a very proud moment for their family.
Yeah, no, they've indicated now to the touchline that he's going to be replaced.
A huge loss.
Yeah, very much so, but can be very, very proud of his contribution today. Superb performance, and one of the mainstays of Wesley's performance this afternoon.
Their captain
really pity to see him go, but an opportunity for somebody else. And that somebody else is Ryan Price, by the looks of it.
Their captain today has led their charge. Ryan Price, the young fifth year, will be looking to make an impact.
Okay, we don't need to speculate anymore. Evan Moynihan's kicked the ball into the corner. Marys are going to double down, chasing the try.
My thinking behind it was, it's great to see Killian Jacobs kicking, but what is his distance like? So my thinking was like, they may go to the corner here.
You'd like to think Killian's distance, but he would have managed where they were from. But now it's in the proof of the pudding here. Well set line out.
And it is with Jacobs.
Penalty try.
It's a penalty try. Nightmare for Wesley. And it puts St. Mary's back into the lead.
I'm a little bit surprised that he went straight to the posts on the first defence with the ball going forward. I understand why, in some respects, that Marys were making good progress towards the Wesley line. That is a big, big moment. 7 points. I suppose from a Mary's perspective, they gambled and they came up trumps to use.
Sometimes they're the risks.
Yeah. Oh, the yellow card too, of course, yeah. Not a big fan of the double jeopardy there of the yellow card and the penalty try. Again, I understand why it has to be, or why it is that way rather than it has to be that way. But it seems a very severe punishment to be penalised on the double.
Like you said, John, I don't think I've rarely seen a penalty try given on first defence.
Yeah.
Usually it's the 3-strike rule maybe, or...
Yeah, sometimes like you've got to, I suppose, in fairness to the referee, he obviously felt that Marys were going to score. They were certainly making good progress towards the line. and the fact that that Wesley blatantly brought it down. He was happy that it was going to be a try.
And I think it was Milo Campbell who got the yellow card as well.
Yeah, I feel for him, very much feel for him in those circumstances. Like I say, he may not return in time to affect the outcome.
Well, it's only 7 minutes in schoolboy rugby.
But it's 64 minutes gone in the game, so
a heartbreaking end for the young player.
Yeah, you'd like to think that based on what we've seen so far, you'd like to think there's another twist in the tale.
I don't think my heart can take anymore.
Well, yeah, I think just for Wesley's sake, you'd like to see them get a crack at something. And if they're good enough, then they take it, and if they're not, well, fair enough.
This is game number 5 of the week.
Yeah, I suppose what I'm saying really is that I wouldn't like it to be the decisive moment in the game. The penalty try.
It's a tough way to lose a game.
Yeah, well, hopefully we've 6 minutes plus. So,
of course, St. Michael's, Blackrock College, Newbridge College already qualified. And Clongowes, after a tough battle yesterday with Terranure 17-15. Probably coming into this game, I thought it was the most competitive game of the week, but this game very might well be. I think it is, to be honest.
Yeah, and I had 3 matches tomorrow, so more to enjoy.
The CBC Monkstown versus Castleknock game will be brought to you on the screen. Videos on the net, and a huge penalty for Wesley.
Yeah, passions are running high now. You can see that from both sets of players.
Is there going to be one more big moment?
That is a superb kick from Charlie Hempinstall. To get that much from no angle at all takes a lot of courage, first and foremost, as well as very, very good technique.
Showing what he's all about today, Hempinstall.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, like I say, both teams, credit to everybody who's played. It's been a brilliant game to watch. Thoroughly enjoyable, I should say, and more to come.
McNeil took it. Wesley not wasting any time. Defense is the cry from the St. Mary's supporters. And there's been a knock on, and Mary's will have to scrum. Just those margins of error.
Yeah, again, I would look at the first offence. For me, we'll get a chance to see the replay here. So it's carrying to, I'm not so sure. I can see it's definitely a knock on. There's no issue with that. I'm just wondering about Mary's rolling away in the tackle. Yeah, Wesley seemed a little keen there, a little quick off the line. That could have been a penalty to Mary's, to be fair.
Moynihan sends it long.
Yeah. Having praised Charlie Hempinstall for what he did, that is first class from Evan Moynihan. Very, very good. Maxed out the distance he could get into the wind and made sure that he got a touch.
The representative players really stand up those new schools games, don't they?
Yeah, certainly based on what we've seen this afternoon, very much so. But you would say that everybody has contributed from both teams into making it the spectacle that it is.
And Wesley pull the result back in their favour. Hanley score of a hat-trick. McNeil.
Yeah, good tip on.
Collins with the carry there. Oh. The fullbacks had a good game also. The Mary's defence. Very strong at the moment. It doesn't look like they're going to buckle. Hempenstall, Pizzini.
Yeah, very good strike from Pizzini there in the tackle to fight his way.
Hanley.
Who else? Yeah, very good clear out there from Luke Pilicki. Sorry, I should say from Chris Collins.
Brain assessing his options.
Mixing up my teams here. Or players, I should say.
Hempenstall. Chris Kearns. Paddy Collins has it now.
Yeah, a little.
Is there a knock on?
Yeah, referee's asking his touch judge, nothing given. Wesley brought out a great tackle.
What a hit by Aaron O'Brien.
Superb. Yeah.
And he justified the order from the number 8.
Yeah, you'd have to say Aaron O'Brien, superb tackle. I think gave Killian Jacobs, is it the opportunity it is to poach? And yeah, definitely a penalty. Good discipline from Mary's. Wesley worked hard, but Mary's chose their moment, in particular Aaron O'Brien's tackle and Jacobs with the penalty turnover.
I think it's fair to say both schools have done themselves proud and their families, their schools today, regardless of the result.
Very much so. I think for Mary's here, it's all about win the line out. Win the line out, try and run the clock down.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, very much so. No need to do anything, just make sure they'll be wary of, obviously worried about sealing it off. First job done.
There it goes. And that's it. And St. Mary's College become the 15 to make it through to the quarterfinals of the Leinster School Senior Cup. What a game.
Yeah, congratulations to St. Mary's. A very good win, a very hard-fought win. You feel sorry for Wesley College who played their part, but most of all, if you look at both, a cracking game of rugby, some outstanding individual performances, and a thoroughly enjoyable game. So credit to both sides, and yes, absolutely congratulations to Mary's. But Wesley lost nothing in defeat, the way they played, and were a credit to their school.
Before I let you go, I just want to ask your opinion on the weekend, the big Ireland versus Wales game. How do you think it's going to go?
I would be hopeful that Ireland will win. I think they're justifiable favourites. I think if they play to somewhere near their capacity, they should win. It won't be easy. There'll be Wales will get a bounce effect maybe from Warren Gatlin's appointment. But if Ireland play, like I say, close to their capacity, I would be hopeful that they would win.
Thank you to everyone for joining us today, and we'll be back tomorrow with the last stream of the week, CBC Monkstown versus Castleknock College. We'll see you then.
Everyone is competing with something, and that's okay. Everyone is competing with something, and that's okay. Competition is a good thing. Not the kind that makes us bitter, the kind that makes us better. So we're proud to support Connacht, Leinster, Munster and Ulster Rugby. While most folks share for one, we support all 4 provinces. Because we live and work in all 4. And round here, competition is a good friend. It fuels us, connects us, pushes us past whatever stands in our way. And when we fall on the pitch or off it, it picks us up and reminds us, once you begin, you must never stop competing.